Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at the brand new campaign that has come to DBZ Dokkan Battle Global in the form of the Autumn campaign. So this is the full of energy, exciting Autumn campaign, and basically it is a very short campaign, probably between this and what I can only assume is Dragon Ball Heroes, but we will wait and see. But essentially it is a pretty short campaign. It comes with the Pan GT DFE and a whole bunch of content, actually a pretty nice amount of content for the next couple weeks. So to start off with, we have the login bonus. Nothing too crazy here, standard login stuff, just 16 stones, no real special items or anything to mention. So yeah, just your standard login affair. Obviously try and make sure that you log in every single day. You'll get some meat, some bottle of memory keys, and some zeni, but really there's nothing too crazy with it. We can see from the login missions that the Autumn campaign only runs till the 20th of October, so there's probably going to be the Halloween kind of like brief week event that they do at that time, so anticipate that coming. Then we have the full of energy, exciting Autumn special missions. These missions overall aren't actually anything too crazy. A lot of them are to do with clearing story events a couple times, while also performing some Dokkan events, performing some Extreme Z Awakenings, and generally speaking just generic gameplay. Most of it's to do with stamina consumption. There's really nothing too wild here. Obviously they factor in that players are mainly going to be focused on farming the Strength LR Vegito, whilst also obviously focusing on his EZA as well. So they haven't really done too much. There's an Extreme Z area that you can use to Extreme Z Awaken units, and we will talk about that, but yeah, generally speaking, pretty straightforward stuff. So obviously that's the special missions. You'll find that those drop 14 stones, and they also only run to the 20th as well. So it's very likely that on the 20th, as I mentioned, we will receive some kind of Halloween kind of crossover little 1 week event that we usually get every single Halloween. Along with this was the big announcement of the Dokkan Quest story mode renewal, which is actually a pretty nice situation. Not only does it bring with it 30 stones, which I've already covered in another video, but it actually also brings a brand new questing area, which will bring more stones, alongside with the currency required to Extreme Z Awaken the LR Strength Vegito Blue. So that's a very exciting time for everyone. Obviously a very crucial unit that a lot of people have obviously farmed over the years, and it's been a very good centerpiece unit, and I think everyone will enjoy that. Then in terms of the campaign itself, obviously we have a couple things that have come out. So there are the Pan Dokkan event, which is going to be 2 stones. There's also the Super Strike event for Vegeta or Vegeta Kid, Vegeta Youth, and that's also a brand new event. Obviously exciting. The Super Strike EZAs appear to have been done very well so far, so I think that's a pretty nice pickup, a very interesting one as well. Then we have the Dragon Ball GT event. Nothing's changed here, it's not got any new stones or anything, but the story event's been changed to add medals and Dokkan Awakenings for the Goku and the Rildo, because they are now EZAing, so that's pretty exciting overall. And with that obviously comes their Extreme Z area, that Extreme Z area also featuring a grand total of 6 stones, so pretty decent stuff actually overall. So alongside that we have a Virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash, which I've also already covered on the channel. You can obviously take a look at that if you want to. And then we have a couple story events reopening. The only important thing about these story events reopening is that some of them bring Elder Kais, which is pretty good. Then we have 2 new Extreme Z battles as well coming out, which is pretty good. We have one for the LR GT Trio, and we have one for some Pepe Gals units. We have a Dragon Rising Carnival coming next week, which is also going to be very interesting. And then we also have a brand new ESBR and a brand new SBR stage, all which is fairly decent stuff. And finally, to round it all off, we have an explosive chain battle. Now those will only be coming next week, so there is a little bit of a break before any of that stuff comes, and then obviously before the Halloween week, I guess it's called. But right now in Dokkan there is still quite a sizable amount for you to do, starting with the Virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash. Obviously brings with it 32 stones, and it's also quite a challenging game mode. We don't have any of the brand new LRs or brand new Easy A's for the Battlefield LRs, but generally speaking we do have a pretty nice source of stones and hidden potential orbs. We also have the brand new Dokkan Awakening event for the Pan, again also something that's relatively quite helpful. It's obviously there to Dokkan Awaken Pan, as well as the Trunks and the Giru unit, the banner unit from her banner, so that's all fairly good. The DB story got updated. Like I said, it doesn't bring new stones, but it does bring 2 new awakenings, one for the Super Saiyan Goku GT Kid and one for the Rildo. So it's nice to get a pretty good Rildo. I think it's a good buff for the GT bosses category, and yeah, basically it's just very solid. Obviously Giru already came out on global, whereas this whole event came out on JP at one time, so yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Then obviously beyond that, we have the new Extreme Z area, but we also have a brand new Extreme Z battle, Extreme Super Battle Road stage, which is for Time Travelers category, and we'll have a Super Battle Road stage come out next week. So that's some nice new content updates. And as I mentioned before, the Super Strike mission for Vegeta Kid, which is exciting. It's pretty cool to get a Vegeta Kid unit. It's going to be something pretty interesting. And we'll take a look at how well he is as a unit as well. But yeah, overall, some pretty nice stuff. Obviously, a couple of new free-to-play units to pick up, a couple of new Easy A's to pick up, and yeah, just generally some pretty nice content. I think following a worldwide celebration where there were so many new events and so much content, I think it is always difficult to follow that up with a decent amount, but it seems like we've got some fun stuff coming our way, possibly before the Super Dragon Ball Heroes banner, which I think will be quite a significant banner for a lot of players. But now all of this content actually does add up to a sizable amount of stones. If you add everything up, including the Strength LR Vegeta campaign, you get 234 stones, which is a pretty sizable amount. So obviously some of it's not up yet, like the Extreme Z battles, but they'll be up next week, so I've included them in the stone count. But 234 stones is actually a fairly decent amount. And as I've mentioned, you know, you can obviously find all of these events. There's plenty to do. You're going to want to awaken the Goku and the Rildo from the story event, so that's something that's going to set a lot of players up. They're going to need to obviously handle all of that and deal with all of that. And then of course there has also been the reopening of the story events, which brings with it some new farmable Elder Kais, which is always also something that's pretty notable and pretty useful, especially for free-to-play players. So yeah, overall some pretty nice stuff. If I can speak plainly, I think it's a pretty fair celebration considering it's only 2 weeks, and I think for the most part it's actually bringing with it some pretty tasty content. I'm actually really happy about the content that has come out. So yeah, generally speaking, all pretty good stuff. It all looks really solid, and yeah, honestly I think it's a good celebration. Considering, you know, that it's obviously kind of wedged between Worldwide Celebration, Tanabata banner, Super Dragon Ball Heroes, the Thank You banner, the End of Year banners. I think it's generally a pretty good time. But yeah, and then obviously just to mention that the new area is not there yet in the quest mode Dokkan story, but it will eventually be there. However, there are missions obviously relating to that, so you're going to want to focus on that. And then finally, coming to the obvious main part of the campaign, the Pan GT. Overall, her banner actually looks pretty good, surprisingly. But honestly, at this point in the year, saving your stones is pretty crucial. Super Dragon Ball Heroes are naturally generally pretty hype and pretty strong units. Not to mention the Tanabata Thank You banners are very good as well, and bring the 7th year LRs back. And then you also have the End of Year banners, the Step Up banners. There's just a lot that's going on. So yeah, but we'll talk about that in a Save or Summon video, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in detail. But that's going to be it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Bye.